Alright. Fuck it. Let's do it.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
Yep.
Welcome.
Thank you. What Am I Selling podcast is out, as you can see behind me. I'm gonna plug the headphones in just because, that's what I do. Last one is out. I'm having a bit of look, as you can see me, it's a fucking wreck in here. It is a fucking wreck in here, dude. And I haven't wanted to come in here because there's not a fucking inch of this place that is my own space. Even on my fucking desk now, there's other shit that's not even mine. Like, dude, when I was coming in here before, this was my spot, bro. And I don't know if it's OCD. I don't know what it is, dude, but when I see a mess like this behind me right here, that shit right there gives me anxiety. Not to mention that this fucking room looks like we're in an episode of Hoarders. I do not appreciate that. Look, man, if this was my spot by myself, it would look like somebody from the fucking military lived in here. It's embarrassing. That, whatever. I've been arguing with myself over the last couple of days. Sitting and thinking, planning. I know I brought it up before about the brain genes, gay shit, whatever. I've been going back and forth on if I should even put it out. Is it worth the headache? And the second I think that, I'm like, well, dude, that's exactly why you should do it. I don't think that you're saying anything too crazy, but I already know how bitchy everybody is, so I don't know, I'm probably going to do it anyway. The other thing that I've really been thinking about is, I got caught up in the whole ordeal of, you have to have X amount of numbers and all that bullshit, when really, if you think about it, if you're making content right now, if you're thinking about making content, if you're considering starting a podcast, whatever the fuck it is that you're doing, here's the only advice that I could give to anybody. Don't let the industry trick you into thinking that it's all about the fucking numbers. Don't get me wrong. The numbers are helpful when it comes to getting paid and shit like that. But the more important thing about all of this is that being in a small position, such as myself, we are in a very unique place. And by the way, I just want to say that I appreciate everybody new that has come by the channel as of lately. I don't know what the fuck is happening, but I mean, I'll take it. But, if you hang, you hang. If you don't, you don't. Only because I don't wanna be disingenuous. So, look, that's the attitude that I'm keeping. Here's what I'm getting at. This stage right here is the Goldilocks fucking stage, as they say in relationships. The beautiful part about not having a bunch of people is they could do whatever the fuck. Yeah. Second I start to do something.
Sorry, can X-May text you for a cigarette, and when she goes out and gets cigarettes later, she'll give you bag 3. But I might have to have her, go to the store. Oh, give me one.
Well, I think, yeah. I think there's another lighter up on the bar. Okay. That doesn't even bother me. I just find it ironic that the one time that I actually consider walking in here in almost a week, yo, she has to come and be like, hey, I need some shit. Whatever. It's a mysterious thing. Nobody knows what it is. I and you, if you make content, we are in a beautiful position, man. Because we could do whatever the fuck we want. I really think that not having an extremely large base is an advantage because it gives you the opportunity to test shit out. See what works, see what doesn't work. And I'm glad that I got into it. Why are all three of those fucking descriptions different? What the fuck? I'm sorry, I'm gonna sidetrack for a moment. Because I don't want to click it because I don't want to give it a fucking wrong deal. Whatever, I'll do it after. I don't know what this means. Ah, okay. Got it. What about you? So why? I see what I did there. I put it first. Kinda smart, kinda dumb. But I can test out shit and do whatever I want to do. Now that I got that out of my head, I don't know. I think I need to do what comes naturally to me. Spur of the moment shit, whatever I feel like needs to be talked about in the moment. Because I feel like that's when it's the most genuine of what it is. I don't want it to be cookie cutter-ish. And besides that, dude, it's been so fucking crazy around here in the last couple days. I mean, dude, I'm going to fucking... I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm straightening this fucking room out at least. I need a fucking spot somewhere. Now I understand why dudes have man caves, because you gotta, like, she runs everything, which is fine, whatever. You got more shit than me, but, I mean, come on, bro. I at least, like, look, I look like a fucking, we look like dirtbags on all the internet. I can't have that. Not even, I don't care so much about what you think, as I know looking at that's dirtbag shit, and I don't want to put that out in the world. That bothers me, because that's not the person that I am, but you only know what you see, so there's that. I mean, I don't know, dude. I've been fucked up the last couple of days, debating, should I even come in here and do anything? Does it matter? And then the other side of my head was like, bro, you have, like, hundreds and hundreds of videos, dude. Hundreds and hundreds of videos. Granted, most of them are reactions, and I'm sorry that, that's what it is. But at the same time, I know that if I would have started with a straight podcast, there's no fucking way I would have built any type of audience whatsoever. Nobody would have ever seen it. And the reason why I know that is because I had a completely separate channel that's exactly what I was doing, and there was nothing going on. So you need that spark to draw people's attention, which, fine, we've already discussed that, no big deal. Other thing is, I already talked about that. So, I don't know, there's a lot going on, man. I'm not sure. I am really debating. Like, is it offensive? Is it offensive to say? And I'm asking this. I don't care if people get offended or not. If you get offended, oh fucking well. You know, you should be fucking offended. And you should fucking learn to deal with it. Because not everybody... when I talk to people... When I'm talking... And I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to you. You know who the fuck you are. That person that spends their day looking to tear down everybody else, like, I have to talk to you like I talk to my fucking little brother-in-law and nephew, whatever the fuck they would, even though, like, that's a whole different... Let's not even get into that. But, dude, I talk to you the same way that I talk to a child. To explain to a child that the world doesn't revolve around you and you can't get whatever you want because you throw a fucking hissy fit and get a couple of fucking papers published about whatever your bullshit crusade is for the week. The fuck out of here. But, is it offensive? Not even is it wrong is the better question. But then again, wrong is really depends. We all have a different moral compass. I would like to think. So if I tell somebody, whatever you do, if you suck dick or you eat pussy or whatever it is, that's your business. We don't need... And when I say we, I mean the collective human species. Like, y'all already took the fucking rainbow, dude. You already took the rainbow. And, I mean, obviously, I'm half kidding. It's not like I wanted it. You can have that fucking thing. I don't give a shit. The bigger issue I have is that when somebody brings you up in conversation, I know it's not all of you. It's the people, like, that we mentioned a few seconds ago, right? Rather than be happy that a conversation is being had outside of your own community, you get upset and you want to cancel and shut everything out. I don't feel like that's really the way you should go about doing shit. But I'm not a gay man. What do they call me? What do they call me? Because I'm white and I'm straight. There's a word for me that I can't think of right now, but basically I'm the devil because I'm those two things. Like, dude, look, bro. Every community has arguments amongst themselves, right? Every community does. The white community does. The black community does. The gay community does. I'm sure even, furries argue about what? I have no fucking idea. Maybe they argue about how you're supposed to clean your fucking suit deal. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck they argue about with each other. But to hijack constant headlines and just, what do you think you're proving? I mean, by being a whiny bitch, dude, the only thing that you're really doing is you're giving the people that hate you more of a fucking reason to hate you. That's stupid. Don't do that. Live your life and be happy, and who fucking cares what people think? Like, you do know that we can all have a difference in opinion, right? Like, I thought that's what this was supposed to... And I know I'll come off as a racist, xenophobic, whatever, but it's the truth. Like, we really do need to get back to a place where we can have differences in opinion, and it's not going to be the end of the fucking world. I would really... Look, if you're offended by this, I urge you to contact me, because I would love nothing more than to get you on the fucking podcast and try to understand what the fuck is wrong with your brain. where do you think that you're winning? Because eventually what's going to happen is people are just going to close you out. Because everything anybody does is wrong. That's not healthy, man. Everything is turning into fucking politics. Fucking stupid. But fuck that. I haven't finished editing it yet. Let's see where I left off. I left off around the half-hour mark. So I still got some time, some more shit that I gotta do. The other thing I wanted to bring up was, you know, if I want to get a specialist or a psychologist on the podcast eventually, because I saw something on Twitter yesterday where they were talking about how, you know, when a household gets broken up, right? And this is the one thing that we all have in common is family and all that shit. So I know I'm all over the place, but look, we really should be focusing on some of the things that we have in common and then work towards the more diverse issues so that at least we can start to build on a common ground and we can get to know one another a little bit more. I feel like that, and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm just a regular jerk off, so, you know, take my words however you want. I'm just saying, it only would seem to make sense. I mean, I've talked to a variety of fucking people, gay, straight, racist, like you fucking name it, and I've, you know, talked to pretty much everybody, and it wasn't always, it didn't always start off fucking wonderful and great. Most of the time it started off heated, but I pulled it back to a place where it's all calm. Like, dude, okay, I understand that you're trying to get your deal across and you're passionate about what you're talking about, but I'm not looking for us to attack one another here. I'm trying to understand you. I know you're not used to that, but we need to incorporate that more. And everybody that I've talked to has pretty much it's always come back to that, where most people agree that we do need to, if we all talked more, it would be better off if we understood one another. Now I forgot what the fuck I was talking about. Oh yeah, the family thing. When a household splits up and the kid gets torn between two parents and the child is being used for leverage. If I can get somebody that specializes in that field of psychology, even lawyers, you know, people that have been through it, if, you know, children that have been through it that are now adults, you know what I'm trying to say? Because I know I've been through that myself. I read a tweet yesterday where they were talking about how somebody had mentioned, like, it's never good to use your child as leverage to get back at your ex or whatever the situation is. Like, you're only hurting the child. And I think that there's a lot of that. Maybe it's vindictive, if that's the right word. The other thing is, and I just forgot, there was a comment that was left that I have to look up what a couple of words mean, because I completely forgot to do that. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's just like, you know what, I'm gonna hurt this motherfucker as badly as I can, so, you know, they're not thinking about the child. I'm sure there are some people that think that the kid is dumb enough to not know what is going on, but I can tell you from personal experience, more than likely that kid knows what the fuck is going on. They just don't say anything because neither of you fucks are rational. So they keep their mouth shut, because what's the use in trying to talk to somebody, because all you're gonna come back and say is, well, it ain't none of your fucking business. Oh yeah, no, I'm only the ammo that you're shooting at one another, but it's none of my fucking business, right? It's only gonna give me a lifelong fucking complex, but fuck me, what do I know? I'm only the outsider. And I've seen this happen to people that I'm very close to, family members as well. I've seen both sides, and it's fucking brutal, especially when all you're trying to do is be a good parent to the child. At some point, you have to separate the way you feel about the other person that you fucked around and had a child with, and understand that the need comes down to that child specifically. Fuck whatever that person did, whatever they said, however you got here, it doesn't fucking matter. At some point, you two motherfuckers were either loved each other enough or were attracted to each other enough to somehow magically have a fucking kid pop into the fucking world. So now you need to figure it out. Don't get me wrong, I know it's a lot easier said than done. And, well, you don't have kids, so why don't you shut the fuck up because you don't know what you're talking about? Well, okay, maybe not. Not maybe not. I don't... Oh my god. Okay, you know what? That brings up a whole nother issue. We're gonna have to talk about that. We're gonna have to talk about that. I've held off on talking about it simply because I'm embarrassed by it, but you know what? We'll do it. Are you fucking serious? And no, I still did not replace that phone, because I have not been able to get to the store. And it's also been storming lately, which has been, you know, if it rains too fucking hard, the internet goes out, possible power outage, goddamn nightmare. And then with the hurricane coming up this upcoming week, Dorian or whatever the fuck its name is, you know, hopefully anybody who listens out in Florida, even though you're not on any of my statistics, hopefully you all are good out there, because I know some people out that way and in the Carolinas. Hopefully y'all are alright. Shit, I keep getting derailed. I know I'm due to record a fucking podcast, an official podcast, because the jeans thing shouldn't count, really. Yeah. Okay. The jeans thing shouldn't count because it's not official. I didn't sit here and open the deal and, you know, go through it. So I have to record something. I have to get started on the October episodes. I haven't even started yet. And we're already in the beginning of fucking September. I'm in some trouble, dude. I mean, I'm panicking for absolutely no reason. I have everything taken care of, don't worry. But, you know, I don't know. That's one thing that I want to do. That's one thing that I definitely want to do. I did try to reach out to a profiler. You know, I've been wrapped up in some Criminal Minds as well, so, you know, I do want to try to get a profiler on here at some point. Just because I have questions. And then as I say that, I think to myself, like, dude, what the fuck could you possibly ask this person that they've never been asked before? Because I don't want it to be a token thing that, you know, everybody asks the same shit. I want to try to come at it from an angle where nobody has ever asked anything like that. Like, I know the TV shit a lot of it's bullshit, but whatever. Look, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. The next one that I have going on would be on the 7th. Shit, that's almost, tomorrow's Friday already. Fuck. So yeah, I do really need to get to work. Because, you know, I don't like, and I know I can fall back on other shit. I have stuff in the break glass in case of emergency situation. I have all that shit. I know I can do it. But I need to get back in here. I need to do shit. Before I can do anything, though, I need to clean this room. It's like the 3rd time I'm mentioning it. But, dude, just sitting here right now, I know it's like it's staring at me back there. And look, I appreciate that. I know artists are messy people. You know, she's sewing, drawing shit, there's stuff everywhere, but this is fucking insane, bro. I'm an artist too, goddammit. No, I'm not. But I mean, really, I want to be able to come in here and feel comfortable, because I don't feel like I belong in this fucking place at all, whatsoever. Like, I feel like I'm a homeless friend that is just crashing here because I can't afford to go anywhere else. Plus, I felt bad over the however long I've been gone that I haven't had any content up on the channel. But like I said, I have enough videos where y'all could probably watch 1 to 2 videos of mine a day and probably have enough content for a fucking year. But at the same time, I know if I don't put shit out, people are quick to forget. To which I don't know if I mentioned this on a podcast or not, or it might have even been in another video. You know, there was a conversation had about relying too much on comments and shit like that, so, you know, I get that as well. But I don't want to do that. I know everybody's like, leave your whatever you think in the comments. I know I've said it before, the difference is when I say it, I mean it, because I actually would like to hear what the fuck you think. But I'm gonna try not to, you know, fall back onto that, because it's easy to get influenced by, you know, everybody does that. Everybody does that. They all say the same shit. So we're gonna try to do stuff a little bit differently. And I'm bad at doing this every fucking time. I do it at the end instead of the beginning. Because I'm going to end this only because if I continue to talk any longer, it's gonna turn into a fucking podcast. And I don't like the sound quality that I get from OBS. However, at the same time, if you want a fucking video, I have to put it like that. Matter of fact, while we're sitting here, it's just us, right? Let's fucking... You're the Bill Murray reaction videos, and I mean that with all the best intent. That is fucking awesome. Hold on, because I gotta respond to this cat. Now I had to look up who Bill Murray is, because I'm pretty sure that's the guy from Groundhog's Day, Zombieland and all that shit. So let's take a quick detour. Bill Hader. Why is he coming up? I never looked him up. I know he's on Barry. I think that's on HBO. Murray. Yeah, I love that fucking guy, man. Ghostbusters. Oh, shit. I was like, I don't recognize those other two movies. That's because they haven't come out yet, stupid. You know what, let's just see what movies he was in. Ghostbusters, classic. Groundhog's Day, classic. Caddyshack, I watch a little bit of. Lost in Translation, I don't believe I've seen. Stripes is fucking awesome. Kingpin, not sure. What about Bob? Looks familiar, but I don't think so. Fucking, he was great in Space Jam, dude. I just want to say that. Scrooged, I'm pretty sure I watched. Garfield, I'm not sure. Ghostbusters again. Jungle Book, it's been ages. Charlie's Angels. Tootsie sounds familiar. What else is there? Where the Buffaloes Roam. Monuments Men. Not sure. Wild Things, I know I watched that. I don't remember enough about it though. Garfield again. Isle of Dogs. Merry Christmas. Lost City. Hamlet. Yeah, I don't know these other ones. I would watch them just because he's in them. I thought he was in Zombieland. How come he doesn't get a credit for that? Yeah, I know if I go down this fucking rabbit hole, and we're going to be here forever. But you know what? Let's see. Like, okay. Where did he go? Here you are. In the Judas Priest Touch of Evil. Okay, if you believe that I'm like Bill Murray of reactions, like, I appreciate that. I don't know what that means. Somebody else said the same thing to me too, though, that I was the Bill Murray. I think he said I was Bill Murray in Caddyshack, which, if I remember correctly, he was a little bit fucking bananas in that film. I think chasing after squirrels or groundhogs or some shit. He was going crazy. But I did just rewatch Groundhog's Day the other day, and I really enjoyed that. But, you know, if you can explain to me, what does that mean? Like, are you trying to say I'm funny? Is it the I don't give a shit attitude that I have sometimes? Is that what it is? I mean, dude, I take that, even if you were trying to insult me, I would take that as a very high compliment, because I do really enjoy that man's work. And I've been watching him, you know, on and off for probably like my whole life. I mean, you know, with Ghostbusters and shit, that was 84. I was born in 85. Stripes, I know I wasn't around yet, but still. So, you know, I've enjoyed this dude's work. But I'm not sitting around watching him every day either, so it's not like I'm trying to impersonate him. Either way, take a fucking compliment and shut the fuck up, will you please? Okay, I agree. And I will. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Hold on, let's go back. What's your name? Okay. You know who you are. Blue guy. But Jesus, is that it? I don't know. Either way, I appreciate it, dude. I'm happy that you like it. I might have to go back and watch that video now and then pull something up of his and see if I can spot any similarities, because I'm curious. So, look, if you're not aware, podcast comes out every Saturday. It's called Laughing at Birds, as you can see from behind me over there, or in front of me, whatever it is. I mean, I know it's in front of me, but you know what I'm trying to say. Fuck. Oh yeah, if you go on the Anchor page, which there's a link in the description for Anchor and iTunes, as well as Cash App, PayPal, blah blah blah. You know all that shit. Spotify's right there. Through the Anchor app, you can access any other podcast platforms. I mean, we're on Castbox, all that shit, dude. So, if you have not listened to the podcast yet and you enjoy the reactions, go check it out. And I think, let me write that down as well, because I think I should start mentioning that in the beginning. And you know what I really should do as well? Hold on. What did I just say? Oh yeah. Podcast recommendation to reaction crowd. What I should do is, if I had half a brain, I did it way too late. In the rugby video that did extremely high numbers, which is fucking insane. Oh fuck, that reminds me. I'll leave with this. Well, no, I won't. But let me just put it out there. I was watching a movie. I think it was, fuck. What the fuck was it? Was either The Bank Job or Lock, Stock, Two Loaded Barrels, or Snatched, or it might have been Blitzed. I don't know. It was one of those movies. And two guys are talking. I know, you know what? I don't think it was any of those movies. It's a completely different one. It's about a serial killer. No, it wasn't. It was government shit. You know, CIA, you know, planned attacks, all that bullshit. I'll get the name of the movie. I don't know it off the top of my head. I have to check my Netflix, but you know, these two dudes, they go over to London in the movie, I'm pretty sure. They're in the UK somewhere. I'm not going to say it's London. I don't know where places are. But, you know, they're in the car and sports gets brought up. And on the radio, for anybody that's not familiar, the NFL goes over to the UK and they host, I think, 2 games every year, and they hold them in a rugby stadium, I'm pretty sure. Like, I know last year the Jaguars went, and somebody else, I don't, the point is that they're talking about this game in the film, and which apparently you guys call cinema, you know, unless that was a thing that they made up on the show, which I wouldn't doubt, because I'm pretty sure Beechwood is not off exit 5, but we'll get into all this shit later. I'll have to remember to, let me write that down too. I'm telling you, dude, this is gonna wind up being a fucking podcast, or I'll just put it out as a mini podcast, middle of the week miniature podcast for everybody on the platforms. And fuck, that's the whole thing that I was plugging, dude, and I forgot. Well, now I gotta finish this now. Hold on. TV, what would I even call it? You know, they make up locations and shit. Wrong info. Alright. Now, I was trying to say this before. The two dudes, let me finish that thought first. 2 dudes are in the car, they hear the NFL on the radio, and the one guy says to the other guy, the NFL is like rugby. Fuck, what was the goddamn line? He said, American football is rugby for hairdressers, which that is fucking hilarious. I am a diehard New York Jets fan, dude, for the NFL. But I'm sorry, if you want to take your shit that seriously, that's on you. You know, but everybody from the UK, for the most part, has been really fucking cool to me, dude. So I have a fucking love for your culture and all of you guys, even the fucking wankers, as you would say, that tell me to go fuck myself. Fuck them. They don't know what the fuck's going on. But that's funny. And I got a really good laugh out of that, dude. I really enjoyed it. And I know it was probably a throwaway line in the movie, but that shit made my day, dude. I really did enjoy it. Anyway, back on track, motherfucker. If you watch the reactions or other YouTube videos, you haven't checked out the podcast yet, check out the podcast. It comes out every Saturday, Lapping at Birds. Like I said, there's the platforms. Now listen, I need everybody to do me a favor, and I'm going to mention this in every fucking video because it's not happening. And there's another thing that I have to bring up. I probably did already. That's what we'll call it. Reinforcement. Do or don't, I don't care. I'm not gonna remember what that means later, but whatever. You know what? I got an idea. We'll just write it down. Jim Norton quote. Autograph. Hopefully that'll help me to remember, but I'm going to mention it in every video from now on because I need that to happen. So, that's important. It helps other people. Why is it important, you say? Well, because if you rate it, then that makes it more visible for other people to see it. And if other people can see it, then you already know, on and on. While I'm going to use this stage where I am to my advantage. I had to think of a way to say that. Definitely rate the podcast, even if you hate it. Like, it doesn't matter as long as the rating is there, because apparently that shit does help. I mean, people mention to do that for a fucking reason, and I've seen people, other podcasters, who don't want to fuck with me. It reminds me of an Immortal Technique line where he says, something about other rappers. The line is somewhere along the lines of other rapper. That's what it is. I'm pretty sure the line is, other rappers love me for the shit I say about the government. They claim not to know me, but on the low, they loving it. Like, I think that's what other people who run podcasts are about. Because I have some people following me that are pretty high up in fucking rankings, dude. So, I don't know. Now that I butchered an Immortal Technique line, Middle Passage, I have to look into that. We'll get to that later. But listen, this has already gone on longer than I wanted it to. Rate the podcast. Please do me the favor. If you've had any enjoyment out of this channel at all, you can go on iTunes. You can go on Stitcher. I think you can go on CastBox. If it gives you the opportunity to rate it, please rate it. That helps me out. All I ask you to do. That's it. And because on YouTube it doesn't count. That's not going to move the ratings on the podcast platforms. And by the way, I appreciate everybody that listens to it weekly. The podcast is ironically now is doing better than any other videos that I fucking put out, which is awesome because I really enjoy doing it. But look, everything is all fucked up. There's the promo. Saturday episode's gonna so this is gonna be pretty heavy. We have Saturday's episode, which is gonna be rough, that, you know, people are gonna get all fucking offended over, but whatever. Fuck that motherfucker. Fuck that motherfucker. I don't want to hear nothing. So listen, tune in Saturday, rate the podcast, and we'll figure out what I'm gonna do with the gauging thing, because I have to find, when I get up in the morning is like the only time that I really have when it's quiet enough for me to be able to do anything. So I'll try to get as much done in that time that I can. Either that, or I'll do this room first and then do that the following day. Depends on what the weather is going to be like. Because if it's fucking raining, I can't do dick. Because if the power goes out, then, you know, everything is fucked. But whatever. Look, I just wanted to come on, talk a little bit of shit, put something up on the channel for you guys to let you know that I'm not dead and I didn't forget about any of you. And let me know, seriously, I know I said I wasn't going to rely on comments, but seriously, if this thing is improving quality, let me know, because I think it does make it sound a little bit better. I just have to figure out the placement of how I want to do it. I mean, I guess I could do it like this because it's not in my face, and hopefully it still picks me up well. Trial and error, I'll figure it out. Don't even worry about it. Tune in Saturday. I appreciate it. Everybody that subscribed. The one guy that did rate the podcast a while ago, I appreciate you. Everybody that listens on YouTube, the few scattered numbers that are around on the podcast platforms, appreciate it. Catch y'all Saturday, and I will talk to y'all later.